This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show.
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The City.
Greetings, blessings, and good fortune, everybody. It's Thursday again, and it's a wild one. We had a crazy week, didn't we? Man, so what I'm going to do right now is we're going to dial everything in on Facebook, and I apologize for the lateness, right? It's 6:14, but, you know, here at the studio, we had a show before us, a good show, too, and they were talking about sports. So you know how guys get when they talk about sports, it goes on almost as bad as me when I talk about conspiracy theories, almost as bad. So I apologize for the tardiness, if you will, but hopefully this works in our favor and more people can tune in. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So right now, I'm just dialing in all these different gadgets I got here to make sure that hopefully we can get things going. Yeah, it says I'm live. Says I'm live here. All right, we've got this one going. That one's working pretty good. See if I can get into it so that we can lower the volume and hopefully see some stuff. And then I have the I want to get on the Bitcoin Otter one. Bitcoin Otter's live so that we can see these all. So I can see you guys hopefully in the chat and I don't miss anybody. And that way we'll get everything. As you can see, I got my flannel on. It's cold here. You know, everybody makes fun of me. Hey, you know, Otter, you're from Buffalo, man. What are you doing? You know, you got I got my nice warm. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Is this the bomb or what? Look at this. Look at this. This is from a great friend of mine, Deb. You did great when you bought me this. Thank you very much. It was a very, very great gift right there. Now, a couple other things. In studio, I've got 3 cameras pointing at me right now. Joe is really stepping up his game. Okay, they're not quite widened out and everything, and you don't really want that with me, right? I mean, if I had longer hair, maybe a little, maybe some more assets, if you know what I mean, then that would probably be better to, you know, kind of focus in on me. But just be advised, Joe, I haven't shaved, so you don't want to scare the audience by getting any of those too close close-ups, if you know what I mean. So, guys, gals, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got Matt in there. Matt's here. Jim's there. Jim, I got some of the stuff you sent me. I got it in here. Also, you know, you guys want to send stuff, just send it my way. I'm sure I can use it in some way or form. But man, we got stuff to talk about. Sue, you're on there too. Dad, hopefully you're watching. I love you, Dad. And, you know, when I think about how target rich this environment is, I mean, as far as for somebody who, like me, enjoys talking about things, I love to talk about things. And I'll tell you, there is just no shortage of actionable material. It's all over the place. Craziness. And we're going to get into some of that. Throw up on the, don't literally, please throw up, but throw your comments up on the, I see comments here on Bitcoin Otter. I mean, on Christopher Ott, but I don't see any on Bitcoin Otter yet. That's fine. So as we usually do, we're going to take the barometer, as it were, of the economy. Matt says, perfect time to buy crypto. It's taken a dump of late, just like the Dallas Cowboys postseason hopes every January. Wow. All right. Thanks, Matt. That was apropos, kind of sharp, kind of, you know, difficult for some people to take, but it was apropos. So the Bitcoin price earlier today, and as you know, you already mentioned, Matt, crypto's taking a dump. It was, let's see, 92,884, I guess. So I think somebody sent in, I'm not seeing all the, somebody popped in with a comment, but I don't see it yet. So that's fine. We'll keep working on it. Hopefully it'll pop up. Let me see if I can just work this. Oh, there we go. Okay. I got a better view over here now. So at $92,884, it's a bargain basement price, everybody. This is what we're going to see for now. Like you said, Matt, things are low right now. They're down. I would love it if it went into the 80s, because then we could accumulate a little more. And I'm going to get in a couple coins for you if you're interested and you want to check them out. Always going to be your decision, because I say again, I am not a financial advisor by any stretch. And I don't even look like one at all, right? So gold, $2,680 per ounce. Silver, again, this is still a good buy because they're very much suppressing the price of gold and silver. I like silver a little more because I think it's got more room to move. So silver is $30.32 an ounce. Jim says, what's the best exchange for purchasing crypto? Good question, Jim. A lot of people use Coinbase. One, it's American, okay? Two, it's pretty much the biggest. Three, I've heard it's easy. I have not been able to get into Coinbase myself. So currently, what I use along with the Bitcoin Otter PMA is Kraken, which is also an American exchange. If you like that it's American, great. If you don't, like I used to use, it begins with a K. Jody, good to see you. It begins with a K. KuCoin. KuCoin is out of the Seychelles, okay? KuCoin was awesome, really good. But you know how criminals here in the U.S., in government, Fed types, right? In these agencies that make these rules that you and I have to follow, but they can do whatever they want, right? They do whatever they want because, well, they're in the federal government and they so-called run it. So they think that, they don't need to buy health insurance. It's required for us, not for them, not for them. We had to be subject to an mRNA treatment therapy injection. They were exempt. Okay. These are the kind of things that these people exempt themselves from, and they levy against us, whatever they desire. It doesn't matter to them. But they said I couldn't use KuCoin anymore because I'm American. Anyway, there are decentralized exchanges, Jim. So you don't actually have to have, your name, address, license, driver's license number. That doesn't have to be in there. If you use like Change Now, Pancake Swap, things like that, things of that nature. Marcos, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. So, by the way, Marcos, we're going to get into this later, but we're kind of seeing the Lahaina Maui fires, a little bit of a deja vu, and it really sucks, especially for those in California. So the average mortgage rate, a 30-year fixed, is going to be 7. Yeah, an ugly 7. You can say lucky 7, but I don't. If I was looking for a house, I wouldn't call myself lucky at 7%. 15-year locked-in rate at 6.32. Okay, a little better, but still, it's high. I'm hoping that. And you look at California now, and a lot of people are going to be needing new houses. That's horrible. Before I go any further, I want to give us the verse of the week. And it pertains to me, of all people, and here's what I mean. Out of Isaiah 2, verse 22. Chapter 2, 22. Stop trusting in man, who has but a breath in his nostrils. Of what account is he? Meaning, I'm just a man. Okay? You can't say, Otter says this coin or that coin. And I know you know that. I know you get that. But also we can extrapolate to, hey, most of us who watch the show, we love Donald Trump. We support him. We don't worship him. Okay? We don't worship him. He's not on a pedestal. We don't, kneel down and pray to him by any stretch. He's human. Very, very flawed, as we all are. Yet we can't trust in him as if he doesn't need us to keep him accountable. He does. He does. So there are some things that he says, it does, whatever. We have to call it out if we think that it needs to be called out. Like a lot of people with this H-1B visa thing. They believe that, hey, he's backtracking on his previous immigration statements. I don't know just yet. I won't completely excuse it, but I'd like to see it develop a little bit as he goes on into, after the inauguration and so forth. We'll see what happens, but we can't fail to call him out like any other human, right? So this one, Jim O'Rourke, gave me this one here from ZY Crypto. I hadn't seen these people before, but here's what they do here. Pundit explains why China could be about to quietly launch BTC Bitcoin price to the moon. All right, so that had me. So a summary of the article is that China's set out to cut interest rates. I don't know how they are in China. I don't know if they're, central bank. I would imagine they're communists, just like the central bank we have. So I would imagine that they have a similar system to cut rates. I don't know if they're going to be more aggressive, less aggressive. I don't know. But apparently if they cut interest rates, that might give people the opportunity to buy more Bitcoin. Not sure. Bill Miller, he's the pundit that, they said, they mentioned in the headline. Bill Miller says this is going to drive the next leg higher in Bitcoin. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope it does. But when we're ready, when we have what we need to start off this great, this is, I'm confident that we're going to have ourselves a good bull run. And then along with it, a good altcoin run. Lord willing, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Sue, all the living presidents were together in Georgia today at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Yeah, remind me, Sue, please, to talk about that in a little bit after the little intro thing here, because there's something very interesting about that. Well, there's something we need to mention about Jimmy Carter in a little bit. Matt, you too, you're going to enjoy this one. Miller also says that the U.S. Bitcoin Reserve will also help push this along. Yeah, Donald's already said that, well, here it is again. Trump has said he wants America to lead the world in crypto. I mean, we have so many good things going for us. Yeah, the deep state is not going to stop until it's killed, crushed under our boots, if you will. But at the same time, man, things are looking good. Crypto.news. Altcoin season is coming. Best 3 picks for huge 2025 growth. Now, I will preface this with the first 2 are simple, easy. XRP and Litecoin. They've been around a long time. I would imagine that XRP might have a more room to grow, because if it does receive adoption by the worldwide banking system, then I guess, it'll, man, I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go personally. That's just me. Other people think, oh, it's a deep state thing, and the banks aren't going to accept it. I don't know. We'll see. But they were mentioned. But the star they wanted to highlight was iDegen. So little I and then Degen. And I think that's its ticker also, if you want to look it up. So it has a market cap of 1.22 billion. Not huge, but not tiny. And it's currently at almost 11 cents as of, me doing the notes earlier today. It has a total of 11.1 billion tokens, okay, max, at which 90% are circulating. So that's pretty good tokenomics there. According to Grok, okay, this was me. I threw it in Grok. There are 7,398 unique holders of iDegen. So do your due diligence, do your research. Alex, good to see you. Excuse me. But 7,398 is not a lot. Does that mean that we should get some? We shouldn't get some? To me, that just means that there's not a lot of people into it yet. For the better or worse, maybe people have looked at it and don't like it, but I think it's so young. I don't think it's like a month old or anything. But just give it a shot. Take a look at it, please. Send me what you find. Now, part of what they like about this is that this iDegen thing is an AI project. And what I would like to go into quickly here, because again, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. What I would like to go into quickly here is something that is not for sure original to me. I've read this, I've seen this, and likely you have if you follow crypto. But the narrative of a bull run is very important. What is the, la onda in Spanish? What is the wave? What is the talk of the town, or the talk of the people that you talk to about crypto now? Well, it's AI. The narrative, okay, is AI. This go around, this bull run. So I think last time it had a few different things, but I think that it was mainly, or if not mainly, then once the altcoin season started, it was NFTs. Man, I know a good friend of mine, Jeremiah. He did well. He did well until the end, because it comes off steep. At the end of the altcoin season, it goes down steep. But hopefully we'll be out before that. We'll see. But the narrative now is AI. And if you want to go even deeper, if you want to dial it in and tighten down on your focus, it's not just AI, it's AI agents. Okay. So what an AI agent can do for you is take the place of a broker. And not only does it take the place of a broker, you get to program in the signs you want it to watch, the signals you want it to look for, and the actions that it will take on your behalf. Yeah. So if you're a trader of crypto or stocks or whatever, you can program these agents to be literally your agent. So this is a technology, it's burgeoning and people are noticing it. So the actual technology is booming, and man, I think people are going to throw money at it. I think they're going to throw money at it this bull run. I mean, nothing is for sure, but the thing you got to watch out for, though, is like this ID gen. Hopefully it's going to, be something that people want to put money into. But at the same time, you got to do your research and make sure it's not flash in the pan or there's a scammer behind it, So with that in mind, I have this coin, which again is not original to me. What I like to envision is that I'm hopefully helping people that are beginners. And I'm not a beginner, but I'm certainly not the expert. I pool my, learning experience. I shed the waters, if you will, in many different places, and I look in many different places, and I have some favorites, okay, which I think I've told you, I've mentioned before, Digital Dave, okay, if you want to join Patreon, I'm on his silver tier, it's a little less than $20 a month. That guy has great material, great, things that you can chew on for a while, and he supplies actionable, very important, I guess, to the crypto sphere information that you can use. And he's usually on, right? So there's others. But he mentioned, before anybody else, as far as I know, Venture Mind AI. I've got myself, full disclosure, I am not in ID Gen, but I am I have a small bag of Venture Mind AI. Its ticker is, I believe, VTNR. Okay, VTNR. It's going right now. Well, it's max coinage, or it's market cap is 12.2 million. Small. What does that mean? It means that it's risky, definitely risky, like everything else, but even more so because it's so small. But at the same time, it's got a lot of room to grow. The token price right now is 3 cents. Yeah. In fact, I told a friend of mine that this is up and coming, and so Sue says, I question the security on trading with AI. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it. I'm not a day trader by any means. I wouldn't do it, but I think the reason why I wouldn't do it, Jake, good to see you, Jake. I think the reason why I wouldn't do it is different from many others. The reason why I wouldn't do it is because I just don't know how. Unless I had somebody to show me the ropes on how to program it. And you've got to feed a large learning model, LLM. You got to feed it to react and do the things you want it to do. So I wouldn't know the first thing on how to start that out. That said, this Venture Mind AI thing, total supply is 500 million. Okay. And 400 million coins are circulating. So, I mean, that to me is good. So in their summary, it says Venture Mind AI is a decentralized application. And we're coming to my favorite part, by the way. Platform built on the Solana blockchain. I'm liking Solana more and more. I know they have some hiccups now and again, but I'll tell you what, it's smooth. It's smooth compared to some. And it's designed to provide AI tools, robotics, and Web3 integrations in a single ecosystem, is Venture Mind AI. Venture Mind AI integrates AI, blockchain, and robotics into a unified platform. Users can create, mint, and trade AI tools as NFTs, adding a layer of ownership and income potential. So in this way, you won't have Microsoft and Apple steal your stuff. If you are smart enough, and I'm not, if you are smart enough to program your own AI tool, okay, with Venture Mind AI, you can create an NFT, non-fungible token that can't be copied, and you can then sell it, lease it, do whatever you want, but you have control over it up until the point probably until you sell it outright unless you lease it. What makes this my favorite, what makes this really the favorite part of Venture AI that I'm giving you guys this coin tip here today is this. It's partnered with Theta Networks Edge Node, DCDN. DCDN is short for Decentralized Content Delivery Network. What does a DCDN do for you? Well, I'll tell you what, I run one in my TV room at home on a laptop. Okay, I run a Theta Edge Node, and you stake some T-Fuel, which is the currency on the Theta network, Theta blockchain. You stake some of that, which is like 6 cents right now, I think. You stake 10,000 of those, and now you run your node. You don't have to have these, but it ups the percentage, the interest that you make on your investment. So you can do it without any. You just won't get as much T-Fuel back. And it runs day, night, while I'm at work, while I'm here, right now. I think I can hear it running. And it's making me money. Right now, T-Fuel is only 6 cents, and I'm only making about 60, más o menos 60 T-Fuel a month. But who knows what T-Fuel has in the future? I hope it's bright, and I hope it's big. But what I'm saying is it's decentralized. Thousands of people have these things going on in their living rooms or their TV room or their den or their office. What does that mean? It means that Theta is distributing the workload all over the world, and people are getting paid. So not only does Theta Labs, the creator of Theta, T-Fuel, T-Drop, and now partnering with Venture Mind AI, they are able to do this without having to buy property, fill warehouses full of GPU computers, cool the place, pay the electric bill. They don't have to do all that because it's decentralized, ladies and gents. If you want anything, any materials about the Theta network, please hit me up. Hit me up. Okay, Bitcoin Otter at secure.com. SEKUR. Bitcoin Otter at secure.com, or hit me up on Facebook, whatever you want to do, or bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. So another one. Got one more before we get into the news and the fun, the craziness that's going on. That's good coffee. Danny, good to see you. So this other one, and again, I'm going to go to a past narrative. And I got this one from the same guy that I was telling you about, Jeremiah. He does well in NFTs. He turned me on to this. So last bull run's narrative was NFTs, the altcoin, at least the altcoin, right? In 21. So if you're interested in getting exposure to NFTs, but you don't want to go through, because on the Ethereum network, it's expensive. Jeremiah tells me it's not as expensive, but I'm not an Ethereum guy personally. That's just me. You do you. But if you want to expose yourself to the value of NFTs, okay, without paying huge money for them or getting into the they call it the OpenSea network, all that good stuff. If you want to, good, knock yourself out. Go ahead. But if you don't, you can get your portfolio exposed to the gains of NFTs by buying this coin. It's called Pudgy Penguins. Yeah. If you know anything about NFTs, they have weird names and they're kind of like cartoonish. But this one is called Pengu. Pengu is the ticker. Okay. It's also on Solana. It's on Solana blockchain. Its market cap is 2.1 billion. Okay. Again, not huge, but not small. Circulating supply is 62.9 billion tokens. Its max supply is 88.9, almost 90 billion tokens, like 88888, bunch of eights. The current price is 3 cents. Okay. So if you want to expose yourself to last year's, well, not expose yourself, please don't do that. At least not in public. If you want to expose your portfolio to NFTs without actually buying NFTs, this is your token. Okay. Pengu, Pengu token on Solana. So you can check that out if you like it. Now this is out of X, and this person here is I meme, therefore I am is the account. The Maduro regime just kidnapped opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. Ladies and gents, Venezuela, Brazil, Syria, the deep state is busy. The deep state lost a big one this last November. They really did, right? We got our guy in. The people spoke, and he's there. But they're winning in other nations. Do I think they're going to win? No. But they are winning in some places. Brazil, remember they kicked out Bolsonaro? They used to call him the Brazilian Trump, sort of like a Brazilian wax. I guess that's a bad analogy. Anyway, this is from the X22 report. Gavin Newsom, or as Trump says, Gavin Newscum, has failed California. It is a state that has been bought out and ran into the ground by the deep state. Remember, this is X22. He knows how to tell you what the deep state's up to. It is the perfect example of what the future of America could have looked under like-minded leadership. And what he means by like-minded leadership is a DS puppet stooge, okay? Like this Maduro character. So this, we're still on X. This account, Red State, says, California holds special session to combat Trump because everything's Trump's fault. Meanwhile, LA burns. Assemblyman demands course correction ASAP. We'll see. They can demand whatever they want in California. As long as they have installed leadership there like they do, nothing's going to happen. More Perfect Union is yet again another account on X. One billionaire couple owns almost all the water in California. Oh, one billionaire couple? Who are they? The Resnicks. They are. Now, you and I don't hang out with the Resnicks, I'm sure, because it's a big club and you and I are not in it. Apparently, in 1994, the Resnicks secretly seized control of California's public water supply. Now their companies use 150 billion gallons every year while working class people suffer under drought conditions. And their houses burn down. Ladies and gentlemen, have you seen those pictures? The Pacific Palisades? The only thing I know about the Pacific Palisades is a movie I really enjoy called The Lather Effect that none of you have seen. Was filmed there. Very interesting to me anyway. Matt says, do in California, directed energy weapons. Yeah, but here's what I'm not seeing, Matt. I'm not seeing blue cars unscathed. I'm not seeing blue roofs, umbrellas, and the usual things that accompany a do, like in Maui. Is so much so that Diaper Joe said one time, you didn't know he's on screen, but Diaper Joe Biden said, yeah, the blue roofs are working. Yeah, so the laser apparently doesn't burn blue roofs or material. So anyways, these are the people that own Fiji Water, these Resnicks, this billionaire couple who have, put a lockup on the California public water supply. They own Fiji Water. How anybody could get, a public water supply and corner the market on it, I don't know. But that's California. That's California for you. Here we go. This I got a mark here as Otter's editorial, Matt. And you're going to like this, Matt. And other people, if you want to learn more about this, please hit me up. Bitcoin Otter at secure.com is my email, one of them. Another one is Bitcoin Otter at bitcoinotter.media at gmail.com. So here's my editorial. Let me get that out first. Excuse me. Jimmy Carter died last week, right? Okay. That's what we were told. Matt, you and I know it might be something different. Sue says it sounds like an oxymoron. Yeah, it does. It really does. So, Jimmy Carter was supposed to have died last week. We have no guarantee of that. This whole thing could have been in the back pocket of the deep state for a while. We don't know. Anyway, here's what it can say. As people memorialize Jimmy Carter, as people say good things about him, I was too young, Okay. Oh, so yeah, owning public water. Yeah, thank you, Sue. Yeah, exactly. Owning public water, privately owned public water, sort of like privately owned national currencies. Ooh, where would we get that from, Federal Reserve? I don't know. So the best thing I could say about Jimmy Carter is this. At George Poppy Sr., George Poppy Bush's funeral, Jimmy Carter was the only living president besides our guy, Donald Trump, that didn't get a surprise letter in their folder. Jimmy Carter didn't get a surprise envelope, guys. Now you might be looking at me in confusion, or at least at your screen in confusion. But what I would like you to do, if you're interested, is look up, maybe on YouTube, George Bush funeral surprise envelope, something along those lines. And what you will see is, and Matt, you know this, what you will see is the women, the wives of the ex-presidents opened up their, you know how sometimes you go to an event and there's a, somebody help me out here, an itinerary of what's going on. Jody, I know, Jody, I know. So Jody's already, he's on board with this. He says, I still want to know what the letter said. Don't we all? Don't we all? So when you open up the folder, apparently the ladies had the folder, and in the folder is usually the list of who's going to show who's going to show up and when they show up in the procession or whatever. They're going to speak. This guy's going to speak. That lady's going to speak, right? Well, when they open it up, you could see right on the screen, plop, an envelope pops up. So they open it. And all of them except for the pro, Hillary Clinton didn't flinch. Nerves of steel. She's a very good, she's the biggest sponsor of the suicide hotline that any of us know. So she wasn't going to flinch, but all the others, including George Bush Jr., Jeb Bush, and Barbara Bush, looked like they just saw a ghost, okay? There was something in those letters that scared them. Now we can all say, Jody, if you want to pop up what your best guess is, go ahead, please. But I think the best one that I've heard, and again, this is just conjecture, is something along the lines of a letter or a note from George Bush Sr. saying, they have it all, or I confessed everything, or something like that, because one of the biggest criminals to ever be in that White House, one of the biggest criminals to ever be in that house was George Bush Sr. Jr., I don't know that he had the mental acuity to rise to the criminal enterprise that his dad did. But 9/11 happened under his watch. That they're going to Gitmo. Could be, Jody. Could be. That very well could be. I know I don't know if all of them had the boot. And when I mean boot, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are not, you don't have a tinfoil hat at home. When you see a celebrity or a politician or a judge or somebody like that with a boot on, like you twist your ankle, you break your ankle, you put the boot on. What that means in our world is they've got an ankle monitor on, and they don't want people to see that they have an ankle monitor on. So they've been arrested and they're hobbling around. So if you don't think it's real and you don't think that, we have reason to think the way we do, look up Google images. You can even look at Google's good for a couple things, but you can look up the images, the boot, and you'll see all the celebrities that you want to see. Probably too many, and with the boot on, right? So the other one is, of course, the Black Eye Club. These people get black eyes all the time, and they always have an excuse. I think it was, who's the guy from Nevada, the politician? Can't remember his name, but he claims that he was running on a treadmill, fell, whacked himself in the eye on the edge of it, whatever. But it's sick. It's sadistic. It's the club they're in, guys. Okay? And the president of that club has a familiar name. It's called Satan. Okay? Yeah, they like to polish it up and call their religion Luciferianism. They can call it whatever they want, but it's evil. But there's a reason why people get to the so-called top of Hollywood, so-called top of the music business, the so-called top of the political world, right? Where they get paid $170,000 a year and they have 170 million or 1.7 billion in the bank. Yeah, as a government employee, right? So that's that on the Jimmy Carter thing. That his wife rather didn't get one of those envelopes. So that's the best thing I can say about Jimmy Carter. This guy on X, Cag Drogo, he calls himself. He says, there are reports, and guys, I'm going to go over this quick. We're on Facebook, okay? Yeah, Shucker, whatever. He says that he's going to go to community notes instead of third party fact checkers, which are, just communists under a different name, to suppress our truth telling. But still, I want to go kind of quick. So let me tell you this. This guy, Cag Drogo on X, says, there are reports that Netanyahu has canceled his plans to attend Trump's inauguration. Can you see it yet? Reminder, Trump just posted a video explaining that Netanyahu is responsible for dragging the U.S. into all Middle East wars. I'm going to go over that quick, guys. We don't want to dwell because as there's a quote out there that was, commonly attributed to Voltaire, and it goes something like this. If you want to know who rules over you, just find out who you cannot criticize. We know who that is. Zero Hedge. Inferno chaos. LA fire spreads to Hollywood Hills. 2,000 buildings destroyed. Over 130,000 evacuated. And it's got its summary here. But as I'm reading this, I just remembered, radio broadcast 101 that Joe taught me going on 3 years ago now. And I failed in the beginning to tell you guys that we're on 97.7 KCYP, the city, out of McAllen, Texas. I also failed to tell you that we're coming out at you on YouTube, 97.7 FM. We're coming at you on Facebook. Radio Garden is an app. You can see, listen to the show there on 97.7 FM, KCYP, the city. Also, TuneIn Radio is the other one. I'm sorry, I failed to say that earlier, but as we're about 45 minutes into the show, I'm a little late even on the break. You now know where you can tune in to the Bitcoin Otter Show. Without further delay, I will tell you that this Zero Hedge article covers a bunch of things, including Palisades fire burned 17,000 acres. 17,000 acres. Got some comments here. Sue says, come on, Jimmy Carter was a deacon in his church and never went into the corporate world with a cushy job after Seymour presidency. That could be, Sue, but I never drank a beer with the guy. I don't know the guy. I don't know. He was in politics, so that's a strike against him. The establishment liked him. There's another strike. I don't know. Maybe he was a good guy on a personal level. Maybe he was. I don't know. That's why I wanted to start with a good thing, that his wife didn't get one of those letters. Because if his wife did get one of those letters, that would mean that he is a sinister human being. And his wife would have been too, but he didn't get one. He didn't get one. Jody says, do you know who Ellie Carter is? Ellie Carter, actress? I think an actress? Is she wearing a boot by any chance, Jody? I don't know. We've got a delay here between the comments and me speaking to them, so I'll just hang on and go through a couple other things. 0% of those 17,000 burning acres in the Palisades is contained, while the Eden fire has expanded to 10,000 acres and 0% of that is contained. The newest fire is at Sunset Boulevard in the Hollywood Hills area. Oh man, 5 are dead. 180,000 people under evacuation orders. Marco says 100 miles per hour Santa Ana winds, yet there's no debris in the streets. Wow. That is interesting, Marcos. That's very interesting. So where did it go? I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Did it all burn fast? I mean, was it such a quick burn that it burned and ashes blew, but no debris? That is interesting. I don't know what to make of that. The most destructive fire in LA history, tens of billions of dollars in damage. Early estimates, tens of billions. 2,000 homes, businesses, and other buildings have been destroyed or damaged so far. Elon Musk says SpaceX will provide free Starlink terminals to areas hit by LA wildfires. AccuWeather estimates $52 billion to $57 billion in preliminary damages and economic loss. And there are fears of arson having been the culprit. You think? Maybe? Man. So another aspect about this fire or these fires is that the mayor of LA cut the fire department by $17.4 million, the budget. And I think they gave something around, I think even a little more than that. They gave, I think, $24 million to Ukraine so that they could, build up fire stations. We all did, I guess. They've been siphoning off all of our tax money to build fire stations and train fire personnel in Ukraine. Yeah. Ukrainian people get that because we have corrupt politicians in charge. Jody says, no, she predicted the fires. Ooh. She is the Virginia Guthrie of the Diddy list. The fires are burning all the pedo evidence in underground tunnels. Just look at what celebrity homes were burnt. It's a rabbit hole to look into, my friend. The fire was intentional. Thank you, Jody. Thank you. I have not seen that. Not to say it's not, what's going on here, but I haven't dug into it yet. Ooh, that's a rabbit hole. So according to that, and it makes sense. The inauguration is less than 2 weeks away. And I hate to make this pun, guys, but it's too easy. It's there. Hopefully, Donald Trump will go scorched earth on the child predators, of which half of the sinister cabal in this country lives in the LA Hollywood area. The other half is in Washington, D.C. itself. In fact, that's the currency they deal in, is pain, evil done on children. I could go further, but we're on Facebook, and maybe you don't want to hear it anyway. Once you learn, you can't go back. It's a path you can never roll up and pretend you didn't go down it. So suffice it to say that I believe that's a strong possibility, Jody. I really do. So a New York court denies Trump's. You got any more on that, guys? Throw it up there. I'll touch that base again if I need to. New York court denies Trump's bid to halt Friday's hush money case sentencing. In a filing to the court this week, Trump's attorneys had said Justice Juan Merchan and the state's mid-level appellate court were both erroneously failed. They both erroneously failed to stop the sentencing, arguing that the Constitution requires an automatic pause as they appeal the judge's ruling upholding the verdict. Now, I don't understand why anyone would ever think that a guy like Merchan, his daughter who was selling tickets to the front row of his courtroom, and also his daughter Merchan, Girlie Merchan, was a top Democrat organizer. Why would anybody think that they were actually going to go by the Constitution? I don't know why anyone would be under that unless you watch the news, unless you watch TV. I don't understand. Why would anybody? I don't get it. But it's in zero hedge, whatever. So here's another thing I want to go off on. Not too long. We're coming in on 45 minutes now. This problem that England has, or is it a problem? What do I mean? What do I mean by that? So England has massive grooming gangs. Now, if you know what grooming means, it means that they lure in, they have handsome young men, and they go to the schools in England, and they attract young, naive women, girls, 12, 8, 10, 12, 13 years old. And they do various things, right? Maybe drugs brings in the little girls, or just the fact that they get some attention from a handsome boy. But then they find themselves in a very, very, very ugly situation where this process of bringing them in is called grooming. And then the girls are forced into prostitution. They are abused, some of them for years. They're kidnapped, some of them, and held as slaves of the ugliest version, maybe. I don't know. And in England, there's a, I don't know if you could be worse than a communist, but this guy, Keir Starmer, I think that's his name. Evil man. Truly, to the core, he seems to be one of the most evil leaders we have. And that is saying a lot. Why? Well, because he's denying that these grooming gangs exist when it's just to everyone involved, including especially to the parents of these young girls. It's so evident, it's painful. So the reason this is happening is because Starmer, being a good puppet of the cabal, the international criminal syndicate, the Khazarian mafia, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, right? The usual suspects, is there. This Starmer guy is a clear-cut example of what election corruption breeds. It breeds the same and the same and the same of evil and evil and evil. And that's what you got going on in California, right? So you have New Scum, you have that mayor in LA, the same people, same types of people get elected again and again and again. It's not fair, it's ugly, it's corrupt, it's evil, but that's what happens. And what's going on in England right now is that if you call out these grooming gangs, you're accused of being a racist, because these grooming gangs are predominantly exclusively pretty much made up of the immigrants. They call them immigrants. Invaders is more apropos. And they, there are people out there that want to be woke, that want to be politically correct, and it comes at the expense of little girls. It comes at the expense of the lives of little girls in this case. Little boys too, I'm sure. I'm sure, without a doubt. But children, children pay the highest price, right? So I say maybe it's not a bad thing, because the grooming, of course, is all that heinous behavior is, but that the story's coming out, just like a possible potential cover-up in the Pacific Palisades, right? So if it is that, then I want all of those sick, twisted individuals to know that the good guys have it all regarding evidence. You won't escape. Nothing will stop what is coming. And if you do think you're going to escape by using the easy way out, then you've got a rude awakening on the other side. Because if you think human parents love their children, wait till you meet the father of us all. he's not going to be merciful to you. It's not going to be nice. You're not going to like it. So if you take the easy way out, there will still be justice, ultimate justice. We just won't get to see it. Jody says, Allison Carter is the biological daughter of Kim Porter. And Diddy wasn't the father. I get you. I go where I see. I'm tracking now. That's why she was thrown into the ring. Child. Ring. Diddy has been a Fed ever since the Tupac murder to infiltrate the Epstein clients. And guess who Kim Porter had a child with? Not Diddy. Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Thank you, Jody. So the reason why I edit, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're not on Rumble yet. One of these days, we're going to branch out into Rumble. And what I'll do is I'll have a hardcore show, hardcore conspiracy theorist show. And I'll tell you as much as you want to know about what I know and what guys like Jody and Matt DiPiola know about all this stuff. Ladies and gents, the rabbit holes we have gone into, like I said, you could back out of the rabbit hole and you can stop your progress, but you can never unsee what you see. You can never unlearn what you learn, and you can never forget it. And that's why those of us that have gone there, we don't have, and as a Christian, I want to forgive. I know it's my duty, but what they've done to children, I just don't, So if you want some stuff that, not obviously not the graphic stuff, I don't, there's a limit. There's a limit. There's something that I won't see. But the imagination does a job on you too, So Watcher.guru. I'm just going to break off on this. You guys got comments. We're coming to the end here. Last 10 minutes. I want to touch on this. Thanks, Jim, for this one. China to follow India. BRICS nation reportedly talking to Trump. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but I want to go over this before we depart for another week. And it won't be a whole week if you contact me. BitcoinOtter.media@gmail.com or, and this one's better, it's more secure, I believe. BitcoinOtter@secure, SEKUR.com. That's a great, you have to pay for it, but it's a great email apparatus because it's not here in the United States. If I'm correct, it's in Switzerland, and all of the servers are there. Not to say it's, foolproof, Five Eyes can't get to you, all those, apparatus. I know they can, right? But so your average, lower tier scammers is not gonna get all your stuff. But the fact of the matter is, these world leaders that were screaming against Trump not more than a month ago are coming to the table, so to speak, with Donald Trump. Why? Because they've come face to face with what I've just told you, that nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing can stop it. There are worries, right? I mean, we all have worries. Thankfully, January 6th went off without a hitch. The deep state didn't do another, how many they admitted to having 24 FBI agents on the ground. It was more than that. If it was the government admitting it, then it must have been 48 or more. Double it to be safe. All these people who just walk through the Capitol, through between the velvet ropes, they're in, solitary confinement. Yet the guy who planted the pipe bombs, nobody knows. Nobody knows. The FBI sends out a video of the guy on video planting the pipe bomb. You know what the FBI does? They pixelate his eyeballs. So nobody with the technology to scan, retinal scan, whatever. I suppose, I guess you could get in that close, depending on what kind of technology you have. Maybe find out who the guy is. They don't want you finding out. They know who it is. They probably paid the guy. Or maybe he's on the payroll. I don't know. Okay? But anything they're going to try, it's not going to work. Donald Trump is secure. I don't know how. You got Dan Bongino out there. Dan was a Secret Service agent, and he's calling out the fact that they're not handling it the right way. There's something afoot, so to speak. Jim says we need to drop New York State and California from the U.S. I think that's right, but I think we ought to, at least in Donald Trump's newest tenure, give him a shot. If we can get voting laws passed, and if we can get the communist states to actually listen to the people or force them to in some way. And here, Jim, check this out. Here's where I think this is going to happen. Jody, and I think you're right, it could be a deep state preemptive move to burn Hollywood down, man. Burn LA down. All the evidence scorched. Okay? Plausible in my book. Very plausible. However, the good guys have it all. So, while right now it seems almost impossible to us, or very much impossible, that we could see a fair, democratic republic, representative republic in California or New York or Illinois for that matter, when the bad guys are exposed, when their deeds are brought to light, it won't just be a few of us on this feed that know what we're talking about. Everybody's going to know what we're talking about. And I've heard from a good source that there will come a time when these people won't even be able to walk down the street. Yes. That source does happen to be the 17th letter. I can see some of you doing it. Okay. Anyway, it's about that time. We only got a few minutes left. If anybody's got a couple more comments they want to drop in there. Just to recap real quick, I give you a couple tips if you want to take them. Venture Mind AI, Pengu Coin if you want to expose your portfolio to a little bit of NFT action, but you don't want to buy NFTs. Thank you, Jody. Ding, 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 ding. And if you watch Donald Trump, you'll see him do this every once in a while. Now you know what he means. So, or is it? Yeah, that's the way it is. Anyway, Venture Mind AI, Pengu, and the other one was IDGen. Give them a look. Give them a try. If you're interested enough to learn how to buy them, I can help you. I am right now not in the business of it. My business is teaching. And since my business is a ministry, quite literally, as we are a 508c1a private membership association, is Bitcoin Otter, I'm not going to charge you. I'm just going to show you how to do it. I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'm not going to try and convince you to do it. But if you want to get into cryptos and you need, that entryway path, guidance, I'm here. I'm here, ladies and gents. You already know where I'm at on Facebook. Hit me up also on bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com and or bitcoinotter@secure.com. So with no further ado, I want to let you know that I am blessed. Not only am I blessed to be alive during this time, to be alive, period, but to be alive during this time and sharing this adventure with you. Those of you who are maybe even new watchers to the show. Jody says, gotta go, be safe, brother, and tag me next time you go live. Thank you, Jody. Jody is one of the newer and definitely more enlightened, conspiratoriously enlightened individual. Thank you, Jody. Appreciate that. So it's a pleasure to be with you all. It's a pleasure to know that our country is in the process of being taken back from evil by people just like you watching. I get hundreds, thank God, I get hundreds of views. One of these days we might even get a sponsor or two. I get hundreds of views every time we go on. I don't know. I think Joe. I think our high is like 500 views, and usually we score higher if we have a guest, which I'm honored to have a guest. And if you want to be on the show one of these days, just hit me up. Yes, thank you, Jody. I will term you from now on as a conspiracy realist, because the difference between a conspiracy and the truth is usually only 1 week nowadays. Not even. I mean, we're live now, right? People are calling out what these fires are all about. We're only a couple days into them. So all that to say that I thank God. I thank him for my blessings, my family, my country, all these things that I have, but also all of you. Because I can see that there are many of us patriots that love our country, and we're not just willing to sit back and love it. We're willing to do something. We're willing to fight as digital soldiers in an informational war. Not only digital, but sitting across from the table at someone, or with someone at an event, a family event, barbecue, holiday, or whatever. And it's very important. It's imperative that we don't lose our temper. We don't lose our cool. We know what we know. We have to somehow convey in a polite tone, to the extent that they'll listen, what's going on. Now, I think our job's going to get easier, ladies and gents. I think it's going to get easier as it goes along. Why? Because like I said, exposure's coming. D-class has already occurred. Donald Trump, all those so-called classified documents that the FBI stormed into Mar-a-Lago to get were already declassified. Before he left office, Donald Trump declassified them all. And at some point, you and I are going to get to see them. Lord willing. Thank you very much for watching. You got any ideas? You want me to touch on some certain coins, tokens, cryptos, whatever you want me to touch on? Let me know. You got a subject you're really hot on? You got something you found out that you don't think all of us know, or we maybe didn't go deep enough? Please, if you want me to cover it, I will. Thank you. Much appreciated. God bless you. God bless America. And we're less than 2 weeks away from the return of the boss. Have a great week. I love you guys.
This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show.
Oh my God, I love